Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to rank every Pokemon game by the region, and this is something that I've wanted to do for a little bit of a while, and Pokemon Gen 9 was just recently announced, so I thought it would be a good time to do so, and we're going to take a look at all 8 regions of Pokemon and rank them. So let's get started with the very first region. Okay, the first region I want to talk about is the Sinnoh region. You thought it would be the Kanto region? No, we're going to talk about Sinnoh because Legends Arceus was the last game to come out, and Sinnoh and Hisui are the same region, which I think is pretty cool. And Sinnoh is the region for the Gen 4 games, which I did play Pearl, but we're going to talk about the games to provide context to my opinions, right? So, as far as Gen 4 goes, Gen 4 has a lot of good things going for it. I think Gen 4 Sinnoh created a lot of the most popular Pokemon that a lot of people know and love. And I think this is the generation that gave rise to Cynthia, one of the most popular champions in the franchise. So I think, Sinnoh has a lot of good things going for it, but it also has a lot of negative things going for it because as much as I do like the Sinnoh region and even the Hisui region, I do think that the Sinnoh region has its flaws. Its flaws are its relatively forgettable towns, its relatively annoying mountains because there are multiple mountains in that game, which you can get through if you're not 12. But I prefer, other regions. Other regions in this tier list obviously have less mountains. So I think that is just one of the things I want to mention. And that's why, uh, as much as I do like Sinnoh, it's not going to be one of my S tiers. So I think Sinnoh is going to be an A. And maybe I'll change that later. So the next one on the list is Hoenn. The Hoenn region is the Gen 3 and Oraz regions. So it is based on the island of Kyushu, and I think a lot of people have opinions on this one. It's a relatively old Pokemon game that most people played in their childhoods or when they were in high school, and I think the story of Hoenn is pretty good. The neighborhood, the small beginning life. You move to the new place, and you explore your new home. I think with Brandon and May, and your rival Wally. It's a good story. The champion is Wallace or Steven, and he is one of the main characters of the story, and the gyms are all pretty good. Your dad is a gym leader. I think this one is quite slept on, quite honestly, and uh, I like the water region. I like the water in this region. I don't think it's too annoying. I think it's part of the exploration of this game, and I think the way the way it's all mapped out is actually pretty good because it's not just a straight line, and I think it allows the world to feel a little bit more alive. So as much as I think this is a slept-on region, I actually think I'm going to rank this one pretty high in B or A tier. I'm going to rate it highly. So now that I've decided to change my mind, I will be putting Hoenn and Sinnoh in the B tier because, as I realized, we're going to talk about the Unova region, which is the Gen 5 region, and I think this region is better than both of them. So Unova is the Black and White games region, and I really like the starters of this region. I like the map of this region. I do think it has flaws, which is why it's not an S tier. But I do like it and prefer it more. It's definitely my nostalgia lens is a little bit strong for this one because it is literally just a circle. But I do like the cities. I do like the music. I like the gym leaders, and I think it is relatively more memorable than some of the other past gyms and regions, right? Um, like every story is pretty good. The black and white story is really good. and Black and White 2 is a game that I played, and I do like. I think its evil team is. I think that version of Team Plasma is actually cooler than Inn's version of Team Plasma. So to finalize my thoughts on Unova, I think Unova is a better region, but it does have flaws, which is why it's not in the S tier. Let's move along. I think, Unova has a lot of cool ecosystems. It has a lot of inspired Pokemon for certain areas, like the caves, the sewers, the urban life, and the Swords of Justice and the legendary Pokemon in that region. And it all feels pretty well connected, and the lore of the Unova region is pretty good. The only thing I have to say is the designs of certain characters and certain Pokemon could have been better, and especially the layout of the region could have been a little bit better, which might bring it down to a B for a lot of people, but it's going to be an A for me. So let's go and move on to the next region. The next region is going to be the Kalos region, which is the Gen 6 region of X and Y. And this was the first 3D region, and I actually quite like this one because Kalos is based on France, and I was pretty excited about a French Pokemon region back when it was announced. And I think when we played X and Y a couple of years ago, I think X and Y is a pretty good Pokemon game. A lot of people, people's main issue with the reason people don't like X and Y is not because it was French, but because it was too easy. But I really like a lot of things about Kalos as a region. I like the starter Pokemon for Kalos. They are super popular starters. I like the towns. I like some of the Pokemon, the new additional Pokemon that were released in this generation, and basically I do like everything that is in the region. But Team Flare is one of the weirdest teams in history of the franchise, and I think Kalos is a pretty good region, but it does what it needs to do. It allows you to explore a pretty damn nice place, and that's about it. So I'm going to put it in a B tier. Next up is the Kanto region, and the Kanto region is, of course, the red and blue games. So what I like about Kanto is Fire Red and Leaf Green, because I played Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I don't really care much for the Kanto region. I'm not going to rate it in D tier, but what I like about the Kanto region, and the reason everyone plays Fire Red Leaf Green, is because of ROM hacks. ROM hacks allow the Fire Red Leaf Green games to become more than what they are. They allow a new narrative, new Pokemon, because the Kanto region is so box-like and so, and as well as like Kanto Johto, you can go to both regions. So the way that Kanto intertwines with itself, it allows players to really explore the region, go to different towns in different ways, and kind of have their own narratives, or with the ROM hacks can play with what they have. And ROM hacks change the interaction with the region. So I think it's a completely new. It's the reason everyone chooses Fire Red Leaf Green for ROM hacks. But for Kanto itself, I don't really think it's that good. Sure, it's the Pokemon anime. It's Ash's journey. It's the nostalgia of the first generation, the first Elite Four, all of that, and of course Giovanni and Team Rocket. I think I love all of that stuff. So it's not going to go in D tier. It's going to go in C tier for me. I think that's where it belongs, and that's my opinion. So next up, we're going to talk about Alola, which is the Gen 7 Hawaii region. So when Sun and Moon was announced, I was really excited about this region because the way that, I think it's mostly the trailers at the time, focused on the starters and some of the route Pokemon and some of the early looks at the game. So what I liked about it was the character designs, the environments, and I like the islands, right? So maybe for me, I like the tropical environment, and I think the Pokemon were really good, and I came to love them, right? I do think it's kind of has flaws, if you don't like, I, the mountains and some of the more drag on parts of Sun and Moon, but what I do like about Alola is its lore and its freedom. Freedom. It's like the opposite of freedom in that game. But I do like that getting stronger in Gen 7 is actually getting stronger in Gen 7. So and yeah, and I like that, progressing to each island feels like a full on, like you actually have reasons to go to all four regions. It's not just gyms in Alola. Is one well, the major thing of Alola is that there are no gyms. So I really, I think Alola could have worked with gyms, but they didn't. They did their own thing, and Z moves are all right, but that's our I think the trials are just as fine as the gym. The trials are basically the gyms, so I like Alola a lot, and it's probably one of my favorites because of the characters, Pokemon, and definitely the overall feeling of being in this new place and the story of Alola. So I do like Alola quite a lot. It's going to go in my S tier. So moving on to the next region, I'm going to talk about Johto. And Johto is Gen 2 Gold and Silver game. And Johto I think Johto is actually one of the first Pokemon games I played. It's just I never got too far in it. I don't think I ever beat Johto because I was like super young. I was a kid, and Johto, I do like the Johto starters. I like, some of the gym leaders are pretty cool, but I never really got the full Johto experience. I just liked playing the gambling and the casino or whatever, because I actually liked the mini games in Soul Silver and Gold. So yeah, it's like kid me played Johto. I thought it was all right. I was too young, but if I played Johto now, if Johto got a 3D remake, if Johto got all the love that it deserved, and really became like a third revival of Johto, I think that would be interesting, because even if that happened, even if Nintendo cared about Johto again, I think it's an okay region. I think it's right with Sinnoh, right with Kanto. It's a popular region, but it's also one of the most boring. Johto is a good region, but it's surrounded by so many amazing regions that it falls short. So that's just my opinion. I'm going to put it in the C tier. And we're going to move on to the last region, which is Galar. So the last region we have to talk about is finally the UK, the most recent generation, Generation 8. So Galar was recently added to the regions, and it's one of the newest regions. And I think my biggest criticism with Galar is that it's a straight box, just like Unova's a circle. Galar is you go from bottom to top, and I do like a couple things of Galar. I like Galar's NPCs. I like its colors. I like it does have the wild area of Arceus, but it's like a beta version of Arceus because that's kind of what Game Freak was doing at the time, was experimenting that overworld concept. So Galar is okay. I do like. I love the UK. I think the the knights and castles and the medieval stuff is actually cool, but it's mostly like a mix of medieval modernism to the region, which is cool. I think I love Leon, uh, and I think London is one of the cool top cities, but you like barely go there at the very end of the game, and it's a pretty good game. It's just like the region itself has a lot. The region is just the region is so linear. Galar is so linear that even if you want to appreciate the detail that they put into the the Pokemon in the grass on the hill, the Pokemon on the hill thing, and if you want to take a time and go look, if you want to look at Stonehenge or whatever, you can look at all the culture in the game, and the culture they get right, but the game takes like, it just doesn't care. You just go up, you go from bottom to top, and I think Galar is going to be with France in this one, and it's going to go next to Kalos, which is going to be my B tier ranking. So I think I do like a couple things at Galar. Galar did introduce the DLC, or at least they added DLC to Galar, Sword and Shield, which was the Ireland, Scotland, Ireland, right? The Isle, and the Tundra. So with those DLCs, the DLCs are pretty good. I think they allow more exploration, more environments, and a different kind of feeling to the game, and at least a little bit bigger than what it was. So yeah, I do like the DLC actually. So I think the DLC is pretty good. I don't know. We'll keep it there. We'll keep it in B, and that's going to be my tier list of the Pokemon regions. But as I was talking about at the start of the video, is that Pokemon Gen 9 was recently announced, and a lot of speculation is going around right now that Gen 9 is going to be based on Spain, which I think is really cool, and I really hope they do a good job with it and showing that culture and environment, because from what we can see in the trailer, there's going to be some really cool Pokemon. There's going to be a really nice court of the castle, La Familia, the courtyard with all the typings and the painted tiles, and I think we're going to be, all the Pokemon centers look like gas stations in Scarlet Violet. So yeah, if you want to look into that, I recommend you look into that, because yeah, Scarlet Violet does seem to have a really interesting cultural, it's really interesting. And as well, just real quick tangent, the main characters of Scarlet Violet look like, they're super dweeby. Everyone's laughing about them. The way that they look like, I mean, the new Pokemon trainers look like, they look like high schoolers, they look like middle schoolers, and that's why everyone is laughing at them and their designs and how dumb they look. But what this means for the story of Scarlet Violet is actually relatively interesting. So who knows if the schools are going to have some kind of importance in the story. I think that's potential. I think that has potential, and that would be really cool. So that's something I'm looking forward to seeing when Scarlet Violet get a little more reveals and announcements in the future. So it is going to come out like in the holiday season of this year. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully, to wrap up this video and this ending here, Scarlet Violet in Spain. Eventually, the Spanish region of Pokemon will be a part of this tier list. And so I'm hoping that it can go in the S or A tiers and, have a home among these great regions like Hoenn, Sinnoh, Kalos, Galar as well. But thank you guys for joining me on this tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And if you are new, hit the subscribe button to get all the videos that I make and get notified for when I upload. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. It lets me know to keep making more videos like this. and gets this video out to more people. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!